Alright, I'm talking about the Roman Empire, and I'm actually going to be serious for once. I imagine that the fall of the Roman Empire will be in discussion more this week than in previous weeks because this guy had a Twitter account, and on his Twitter account he had some opinions about the fall of the Roman Empire. And to be fair, it seems that his opinions represent a sort of fringe ideology outside of the accepted academic consensus, and I promise that that matters and is at least interesting to me. The general academic consensus is that the fall of Rome was caused by many things, but primarily there were a couple of big ones. First, infighting between governors who were more concerned about gaining power for themselves than protecting the people that they were supposed to. Second, an overstepping empire that had too many borders to protect and just logistically couldn't stop people from invading them. As you can see with this absolutely insane map that only represents about 400 years of history. And the astronomical expenses of keeping up with all of these military invasions. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other contributing factors, but they are minor at best, and some of the contributing factors, like the ones that that particular guy prescribed to, I think are kind of baseless. But this is why it's truly interesting to me. Your understanding of the past dramatically and directly impacts your perspective of the present and future. And I'll illustrate what I mean with a kind of thought experiment. So let's just pretend that you always grew up being taught that the fall of the Roman Empire was caused by Chick-fil-A. Like, maybe you watched some convincing video essays that kind of swayed your opinion, and now you really believe that Chick-fil-A ended the Roman Empire. And then take it one step further, and then maybe somebody has convinced you that America is an empire much like the Roman Empire, and that we will suffer the same fates that they did if we don't learn from their mistakes. If you have been convinced of those two things, how do you think you'll respond when a Chick-fil-A starts to be built a block away from your house? Clearly, it would be a crisis to you. And just like that thought experiment, many people have been led to believe certain things about the Roman Empire, and they've been led to believe that the Roman Empire is just like the American Empire, which is wrong for so many reasons. And where this really starts to make sense, I think, is that anybody who's vying for your attention, which is generally the most precious commodity, they can then all of a sudden say, America was just like the Roman Empire, and their fall was caused by, and then insert whatever thing benefits their rhetorical appeals. An overstepping emperor, or a loss of traditional values, or whatever thing you have heard about the Roman Empire that makes sense for the people who are making the argument. Because the only thing that all of those emblems behind me have in common is that they only get paid when you pay attention to them. So they'll say the things that make sense to you, even if they're maybe outside of the academic consensus, or maybe not that true at all. And just to be clear, I don't care which of these places you spend your time and attention, it literally does not matter to me at all. I am just here for the history, and I'm just telling you how your perspective of the past influences where you spend your time and attention today. And if you like this kind of thought process, then historiography is kind of a niche little historical subject that you could spend some time on. It's my personal favorite. It's like what I did my undergraduate capstone project on. It's pretty cool.